Over the past 20 years, certain teams have turned the art of crushing hopes and dreams into a painful masterpiece, leaving their loyal supporters in a constant state of torture.
No, it's the Bills!
This video dives deep into the trials and tribulations of the most tormented NFL fan bases. This journey is as wild and unpredictable as a last-second Hail Mary pass. Detroit Lions. Lions fans, they're the walking wounded of the NFL. Decades of dashed dreams and close calls have left them scarred, but never defeated. Remember that magical playoff run in 1991? Ancient history, man. We're talking over 30 years of playoff drought. But here's the thing. Lions fans are built different. They keep crawling back for more, season after season, with that glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, this year will finally be their year. Lions fans definitely know the pain of the Matt Millen years. Drafted in 2001, he was the general manager for what felt like forever, and things were rough. Remember Charles Rodgers? Dude was the second overall pick in 2003, but injuries and trouble kept him off the field most of the time. By 2008, things hit rock bottom. That's the year the Lions went 0-16, a season no fan wants to relive. Let's just say it was a dark time for Detroit football. Things started to look up for the Lions when they drafted Matthew Stafford in 2009.
In the 2009 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Matthew Stafford.
Stafford was a bright spot, breaking records left and right. He even became the fastest quarterback ever to reach 40,000 passing yards. But despite his amazing talent, the Lions just couldn't seem to win in the playoffs. Lions fans still cringe about the heartbreaking loss to the Dallas Cowboys in the 2014 playoffs. Remember that controversial pass interference call that got flagged? Yeah, that one. Those were some tough times for Detroit football. Last year, man, that Lions loss to the 49ers last year was a gut punch. They were flying high, up by a bunch, and it looked like their long nightmare was finally ending. Can you imagine the party they were planning? But then bam, the 49ers came roaring back like a freight train. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. That loss? Yeah, it's gonna sting for a while. It's a painful reminder of how cruel football can be, but it's also what makes the sport so damn addictive. New York Jets. Jets fans haven't exactly been spoiled since Joe Namath's legendary Super Bowl win in '69. He guaranteed a victory and then went out and did it. The past 20 years have been a roller coaster. There have been glimpses of hope, like a hot start or a great player, but those moments always seem to fade away, leaving Jets fans back in the land of disappointment. The early 2010s were a weird time for Jets fans. There was this glimmer of hope with Mark Sanchez leading the team to the AFC Championship game twice, in 2009 and 2010. But then, well, they lost both times. And to make things worse, Sanchez's career went downhill fast. Remember the butt fumble in 2012? Yeah, that became the symbol of all the Jets' struggles. Yep, Jets fans know the feeling of draft day disappointment all too well, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. Guys like Geno Smith, Christian Hackenberg, and Sam Darnold all had their shot, but just couldn't quite live up to the hype. It's been a rough ride for Jets fans, leaving them longing for that winning feeling. Jets fans were riding high last year. After enduring countless seasons of quarterback mediocrity, they finally had their white whale, Aaron Rodgers. It was a match made in football heaven. The offseason buzz was electric, and hopes for a deep playoff run were at an all-time high. But just as quickly as the dream began, it was shattered. A freak injury on the fourth play of the season dashed the hopes and dreams of an entire fan base. It was a cruel twist of fate that left Jets fans stunned and heartbroken. Las Vegas Raiders. In 2020, the Raiders said goodbye to Oakland and headed for glitzy Las Vegas, opening a new era for the team. But for many Raiders fans in the Bay Area, it was a tough pill to swallow. Let's be honest, the past 2 decades for the Raiders haven't exactly been smooth sailing. They've burned through coaches faster than a casino goes through chips, drafted duds more often than not, and their winning record, let's just say it's been all over the place. The Raiders' homecoming to Vegas in 2020 wasn't the only shakeup. They brought back John Gruden as head coach in 2018, hoping for a return to the glory days. But things got messy. Gruden's second stint was full of drama, and the team just couldn't recapture that old magic. Remember 2019? They started strong but crashed hard, losing 5 out of their last 6 games and barely missing the playoffs. It wasn't the epic comeback everyone envisioned. Oakland to Vegas, it's been a wild journey. But let's rewind a bit, because this team has seen some seriously tough times. We can't talk about Raiders' heartbreak without mentioning that infamous tuck rule game against the Patriots in 2002. Can you believe that? The Raiders were this close to victory, and then poof, the tuck rule happens, and it's like someone ripped the rug out from under them. It's a play that still makes Raider fans cringe. And let's not forget that Super Bowl blowout against the Buccaneers in 2003. That was a tough pill to swallow for sure. It's one of those games you want to forget, but it's hard to shake. These are just a couple of the low points for the Raiders. But hey, even with all the ups and downs, Raider Nation is a loyal bunch. They stick with their team through thick and thin. So, here's to hoping for better days ahead for the Silver and Black. Raiders fans are a tough bunch. They've seen some real head scratchers in the draft, especially when you look at Jamarcus Russell. Drafted number 1 overall in 2007, this guy was supposed to be the golden ticket.
With the first pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select quarterback Jamarcus Russell, LSU.
But things went south fast. Russell ended up being a total bust, one of the biggest in NFL history. Needless to say, that set the Raiders back a long way. Cleveland Browns. Browns fans? They know heartbreak like the back of their hand. Remember that jersey with like 30 different quarterbacks' names on it? That pretty much sums up the Browns' situation since they came back to the NFL in 1999. It's been a never-ending carousel of quarterbacks, and let's just say they haven't exactly found their magic pony yet. Yeah, Browns fans are no strangers to suffering. Remember the 0-16 season in 2017? That was a doozy, joining the Lions in that club of futility. Despite having all those high draft picks, the Browns just couldn't seem to find that star quarterback. Guys like Brady Quinn, Brandon Weeden, and Johnny Manziel all had their shot, but none of them panned out. Rough times for Cleveland. There was a glimmer of hope for Browns fans with Baker Mayfield in 2018. Things even got exciting in 2020. Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals fans know what it feels like to be this close to glory, only to have it snatched away in the cruelest way possible. Super Bowl X3 will forever be etched in their minds. Larry Fitzgerald's touchdown run for the lead was a thing of beauty, but then Santonio Holmes with that crazy catch to win it all for the Steelers with just seconds left? Yeah, that image is burned in every Cardinals fan's memory. Even Arizona Cardinals fans can't forget the bittersweet Carson Palmer era. The man brought some magic, like that run to the NFC Championship in 2015. It was electric. But then, well, the Carolina Panthers shut them down hard. Plus, injuries kept plaguing Palmer, making it tough for him to carry the team all the way. It wasn't quite the fairy tale ending Cardinals fans were hoping for. That's a bummer for Cardinals fans. They've got a stacked team with superstars like Kyler Murray slinging passes to DeAndre Hopkins. Sounds like a recipe for dominance on paper, right? But the reality on the field just hasn't matched the hype. The Cardinals keep falling short of that next level, leaving fans scratching their heads and yearning for a deep playoff run. Here's to hoping they can turn things around next season. Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys might be America's team, but their trophy case is collecting dust. It's been a dry spell in Dallas since their last Super Bowl win way back in 1996. The past 20 years have been filled with playoff heartbreak, leaving Cowboys fans yearning for a return to the promised land. Even for America's team, things haven't exactly been America's dream. Cowboys fans know the sting of disappointment all too well. Take Tony Romo, one of their most talented quarterbacks ever. The dude could sling the pigskin. But remember that brutal playoff game against the Seahawks in 2006? Romo fumbled the snap on a field goal that could have won it all. That play is forever etched in every Cowboys fan's memory. There was a flicker of hope for Cowboys fans with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott lighting things up in 2016 and 2018. But those exciting seasons fizzled out in the divisional round, leaving fans wanting more. It wasn't much better in 2019. They had a stacked team on paper, but somehow couldn't even make the playoffs. That's got to be frustrating for any fan. Buffalo Bills. Bills fans know all about heartbreak. Their team was unstoppable in the early 90s, going to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. But here's the rub. They lost every single one. They were a great team, but those Super Bowl losses left a scar on the whole fan base. Bills fans still salty about the Music City Miracle. Remember that crazy play in the 1999 playoffs? Titans win on a last-second kickoff return, a total heartbreaker for Buffalo. And let's just say, the debate over that play rages on even today. Bills fans are all in on Josh Allen. He's brought a ton of hope to Buffalo after years of letdowns. They even made it to the AFC Championship game in 2020, but fell short to the Chiefs. Things are looking up, but Bills fans have been burned before, so they're staying cautiously optimistic. These 7 teams might give their fans gray hairs, but that devotion runs deep, through thick and thin. These fan bases bleed their team's colors. Sure, there's been heartbreak, but every season brings a new chance, a shot at glory. That's the magic of being a fan, right? Believing in your team no matter what. The NFL is a wild ride, and these fans are strapped in for the long haul. If you enjoyed this journey through the highs and lows of these teams, let us know by hitting that like button. And if you have a favorite tortured fan base we missed, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe for more dives into the crazy world of the NFL.